Okay, hi everyone. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how Olympian athletes are they're doing they try to reach perfection, right? And the that will to want to succeed, it makes they take life seriously, right? When it comes to their relationships, when it comes to this intense focus to accomplish a goal. And I know the Olympics are upon us, right? Like it's 2024, right? So, and we're about to see like just the example of people who are essentially doing everything they can to perfect what they're doing. And sometimes we don't do that in our lives, do we? Right? When it comes to our jobs, when it comes to school, to make sure that every single element of our life is being fulfilled, right? So if you're at a job, maybe that means, showing up on time. It means doing all of your tasks. It means, um, avoiding any issues, that can happen, right? It means being able to serve in the best capacity and be kind of the best, that you could be, right? Because ultimately that's part of your goal. And likewise, when it comes to if you're a student, the same thing. If you're studying, right, you want to be able to study and um, sort of maximize the your learning, so or maximize your potential by doing everything right. Same thing, showing up on time in class, making sure to be there, making sure to prepare beforehand, making sure that you're eating right, all of that planning that goes into it. And then you combine it all, and so that you're able to, just like a gymnast is able to stick a landing, right? And in the same way, you're going to be able to stick the landing on your projects and your and whatever it is that you're learning. And so, what I would say is it's such a great example for us because when we are, in life, sometimes you don't always think of it that way. It's like you never know what you can truly accomplish if you don't actually take the time to plan. And a lot of times, the most complex things are made up of individual, sort of, um, individual, like, just small little tweaks that you make, like many things, in some cases, dozens or hundreds of small little actions and interactions that you have perfected. And when you combine them all together, it creates a spectacle. And a lot of people won't necessarily understand um, how you do it, and people will notice for sure. And in a place where that is valued, because some places don't value perfection. Some people, they might not care about that, or they might, depending on a business need, you might not, they might not need that, right? So, but nevertheless, you should still aim, even if your job doesn't require, because sometimes there aren't high expectations, right? The expectations are very low in certain, and a school maybe might not push you to do you might not feel the pressure, but then, just like an Olympic athlete, I mean, nobody has to be an Olympian athlete, right? But they still do it, right? So in your case, um, you should also kind of instill upon yourself the you should see it to it that you want to, if you feel compelled, and if you feel like you are if you feel like you want to sort of go above and beyond, truly above and beyond what you are now, then um, try to set up a program for yourself just like an Olympian athlete would. And it's not going to happen overnight. You know, you're going to make mistakes. Like Olympian athletes, they don't just become athletes like that in a week or in 6 months or whatever. It's sometimes they have to make big mistakes, but you got to get it right. And when it comes to school, when it comes to studying, and you know, most schools and studies, they prepare you for jobs and the business world, right? And most business worlds, you know, it requires certain know-hows and certain, you know, you have to be able to move and in certain ways, and that can only happen through failure. And so, you know, just like an Olympian athlete, you know, fails, you know, go through that process, but make sure that you perfect yourself so that the next time you will be able to, you know, you will be able to not only exceed your own expectations, but you might be eventually, you know, you might turn out to be one of the best. Because, and you know, Olympian athletes, how many Olympian athletes are there? Not that many, right? They're very few. I mean, we see a lot of them on stage during the Olympics, but I'm saying, like, in your average day to day, right? Most people are not like that. So if you truly take the time to perfect yourself in such a way, you will be, I'm almost, yeah, it's almost guaranteed that you will be not just ahead, but you will be amazingly in a small pile, because in a, you know, a small group of people, because most people, they don't even try at all. It's a huge gap between the people who actually take the time to perfect themselves and someone else. Now, what that means, I think, is different also. So keep in mind, you know, and that's the other thing that's magical about life, is that you don't have time to do everything. So what you choose or how you choose to perfect yourself is going to be unique. And so truly you will be different from anyone else, because it's not possible for anyone to learn and do exactly as you do. And so you're going to pick and choose the skills that you think are most important to you. And there's a little bit of creativity there. You're going to have to choose what you, you know, what works for you. And what is important in some cases might not be important, you know, in your case. And so you keep that in mind, and you will be able to do as the Olympian athletes do. And so that is my talk for today. And if you all subscribe and we'll see you in the next video.